Welcome to Ida's video channel. In this video, I'll show you how to display pipe details at the interval in the profile view bands. First, I will import the profile view band set that displays the values at intervals. So I'm going to profile view properties, then I go to import band set, and I will use a band set that displays values at intervals. So it's one of those two: pipe, water, levels at structure, and interval band set 1. Or band set 2. I will use band set 1. OK, you can see there's a lot more bands, and if I click OK, this is the result. I need to set the data source, so I'm going to IDA's profiles, set data source, this is my bulk water, and then I'm going to select profile view and I click OK. Now it still doesn't look right, and first of all there's a text overlapping of the profile view description. I need to fix that first. I imported a new band set, so I should consider to also change the profile view style. So I'm going back to profile view properties, then I go to information tab, and under the information tab I will change the profile view style to pipe, water, levels at structure, and interval band set 1. Then I click OK. That looks definitely better. But if I come here, it still doesn't look right, because what I need to do, I need to create profiles from pipes and set them for the profile 1 and profile 2. Let me show you what I mean by that. I go to profile view properties, then I go to bands, and if I look at those bands, you can see that those that are written with the capital letters, it's not a mistake in the template, it's done for purpose. All the styles that are written in the capital letters must have a profile 1 and profile 2 set. And it says profile 1 must be invert, profile 2 NGL. And if I come in here where there's a profile 1 and profile 2, if I click on a drop down, there is no invert profile because I didn't create invert profile. And for example, under the trench levels, I need to set the profile 1 to invert, profile 2 to trench. So I basically need 2 additional profiles: invert profile and trench profile. How can I create them? I can create them with the IDAS. I go to IDAS profiles, profile from pipe. Then I select the network I want to work with. I want to work with the bulk water, OK. And here I can specify which profiles I want to create. I want to create invert profile and trench profile. It is important to remember this order because the profiles will be created in this order from the top to bottom, and I will assign the styles to them. This user interface is not the best. We definitely want to redo it, but this is what it is at this point. So if you know how it works, then you can use it. I will change the trench depth below pipe to 0.1. Once I click OK, I will select the profile view, and here I need to specify the style. And as I mentioned, the profiles are created top to bottom, so invert is above trench, so I will first select pipe invert style. But this is just the style actually, so you can change it at any time. Let me click OK. And then for the trench, let me select pipe trench, OK. And those 2 profiles are created. If I switch on the line weight, you can see those profiles here. The one profile follows the pipe invert, the other profile follows the trench. If I want the trench to have a different depth along the pipeline, that's another exercise. To achieve that, you would actually need to create 2 profiles and use those various profiles and create different band set. That's one option, or you need to create just a completely new profile, which will be a combination of 2. But I won't cover it for now. What I want to highlight, which is very important, at this point, those profiles are not dynamic. So if there is any change to pipe network, you can either adjust those profiles manually, or you need to recreate them. And that's actually what I'm going to do. But if I zoom closer, you see this is a normal profile, and at each node there are 2 vertices, 1 millimeter apart for incoming pipe and outgoing pipe. We are also considering for future to create only 1 vertex if there is one elevation, if incoming and outgoing pipes do have the same elevation. But that's something we will implement when we create a new dialog for this command. But as I mentioned, this is a normal profile, so you can modify it. You can go to profile properties, you can go to edit profile geometry, you can add the labels and so on. This is a normal Civil 3D profile. So once I have those profiles, I can assign them to the profile view band. So let me go to profile view properties. And then I go to bands, and under the bands, I will just follow the style name. So if it is in a capital letters, profile 1 invert, let me go there. And profile 2 NGL, my NGL profile is called NGL Otara, so I'm happy with the settings. For the second one, again, invert NGL, invert, invert, so let me set invert and invert. Then for the depth to invert, invert NGL. Then for the profile one, invert, it's invert and trench. And finally, trench and NGL. Let me go there, trench and NGL. All the other bands are written with the small letters, so I'm happy with the settings. Then I click OK. And if I look at the profile view, it looks great. There might be some text overlapping. I will show how to treat the text overlappings in the next video, but for now I will leave it as it is. But what I need to show you is how to deal with the changes. What if you change your pipe network and then you need to recreate those profiles and you need to again reassign them in a profile view? Luckily, with the IDAS, we have a command where we can export the band settings. What it means that we can export, if I go to profile view properties, we can export profile 1, profile 2, and data source. Let me show you that. I'm going to IDAS profiles, and there is an export band settings command. Then I select profile view, but I can select multiple profile views. So if you even have a planned production profile views, for the bulk water, it's very simple because most of the profile views will have the same band settings unless you have a multiple branches. But if you do have multiple branches, then you can just select all the profile views. And then I will specify the name. I will call it band settings. And then I hit enter. Now, if there is a change, let's say if I move the pipe up or down, let's say I will grab these pipes and I will move them a little bit down. Of course, if it was just one change, I could just grab the profile and adjust it accordingly, but I want to recreate those profiles. If I go straight to recreate those profiles from pipes, I will get an error. Let me show you. If I go to profile from pipes, I will select bulk water, OK, and invert trench, let's say 0.1, OK. And then I select profile view. I will specify the invert profile. I click OK. It says error creating profile. And for the same, or I will just escape. I will explain you why. If I go to tool space, then I can go to alignment, miscellaneous, bulk water, profiles. Those two profiles already exist and IDAS doesn't override them or doesn't create a new one. So if you want to create new profiles, you must delete them. So let me delete them. Delete, yes, and delete, yes. If you look at the profile view now, it doesn't look right. If I go to profile view properties now, you will see that those profiles are not found because they don't exist. I deleted them. So let me go back to my model space. I will recreate those two profiles. So let me go to IDAS, profiles, profile from pipes. Then I select bulk water, OK, and I will create those two profiles. I need to set the trench depth every time. It doesn't remember the last value, OK. Then I select profile view. I will select profile, pipe, invert, and then pipe, trench, the same exercise like we did so far. OK, and you can see those two profiles are updated. Everything looks good. But now I need to set the profile 1 and profile 2, and I don't want to do it manually. So with IDAS, we have an option to import band settings. Let me use that command, and I will select the XML file that I used to export band settings. Then I go to open, and I select profile view or profile views because you can select multiple profile views. And here is the result. If I go to profile view properties, you will see that profile 1 and profile 2 are all set as they were before. And what I should mention as well, that sometimes you might experience the problems creating profiles from pipes. Why? There are two reasons. First, the reason might be that you might have a disconnected pipe. So you must go to Pipe Design Utilities and use command connect pipes. That's the first option. Or maybe the structures might not be exactly on an alignment. If they are a little bit off, IDAS won't be able to create profile from pipes. And how to find those structures? You can go to Prospector, Pipe Networks, and then you can go to Bulk Water, Structures. And in this view, if you scroll more to the right-hand side, there will be offset. Here it is, there's a station and offset. And if the offset is more than 0, then that structure is off the alignment. So you can right-click, zoom to, and then you can adjust it accordingly, either structure or alignment, to make sure they are exactly on top of each other. And only then you can create profiles from pipes. And if you have a multiple profile views for the same alignment and same pipe network, in that case, the most practical option is to create the profiles on the longest profile view, because that will take the entire network from beginning to the end. And those profiles can be used in a multiple profile views, let's say plan production profile views. So that's it about more complex, more advanced profile view band sets that display values at interval as well as the structures. As you can see here, I have values at change 0, 20, 40, 80, and so on, as well as at the structures.